I'm so tempted to sing.
So folks, if you are watching, please donate generously to Sinead to not sing. That seems fair.
Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome on the Mall, another royal event, another royal extravaganza that we actually don't know anything about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to outside Clarence House. I'm going to bring you over here again because we have a bit of royal activity and movement as per usual. Just to clarify, the changing of the guard takes place Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. But on non-guard change days, the King has now instructed there is a new ceremony at the palace at 3 p.m. every day. Now this is vital information for you guys when you come to London. So we've come down just to check it out. Now, of course, I have my amazing colleague James with me. He's the expert, the military expert. So we're going to start this off with a royal sighting. We're trying to decipher what this event is all about. So stay with me and we will figure it out. So automatically, you can see, we arrived here. This was we're just meeting each other here at 2:15 to see this new ceremony at 3 p.m. And of course, massive activity outside Clarence House. Now there is an event on, so we know he's on the move, but you know this yourself now because the outrider motorbikes are right there. So we'll wait for him to come.
I just want a video for the kids as well while I'm here.
So James is doing a video for his children once he's here as well.
Well, I need to keep them entertained, don't I? Show them I actually go out there and do things and earn some money occasionally.
And actually do some work every now and then. James, you said about the royal salute?
So the two sentries in the sentry boxes really brought their rifles up to the slope arms position from the shoulder, and that means they're ready to transition their rifles through to the royal salute present arms.
Very good.
You'll just see it's just a little vignette of foot drill. So we're going to see the two sentries come up to the royal salute.
Oh, this is
given the fact it's an Audi, I'm rather predicting it's Her Majesty the Queen.
Her Majesty the Queen, yeah.
She typically sits in the rear of the vehicle. On occasion, though, does sit up front. So look in the rear, normally, of this lead vehicle. There you go.
It's Her Majesty the Queen. So it's myself and James, you guys. We're waiting on one more tour guide to arrive, and we're down here around by the palace. We're just trying to figure out what this non-guard change day ceremony is going to take. Well, what kind of course it's going to take, essentially, James. We hear them at the barracks, but we're going to make our way. I think we've agreed, right? The Victoria Memorial?
I think that's the best bet.
Because we're elevated.
Well, the captain of the guard, what's now the King's Guard, is going to inspect the soldiers.
Okay.
Now, the King's Guard is distributed between Buckingham Palace and St James's Palace.
Okay.
And the picket at Clarence House actually come under that bracket of St James's Palace.
Okay.
Despite the captain being lodged at St James's Palace, we imagine he's going to come down for this. Let's use the word performance. Because
performance, essentially, yeah, it is really. And it's just kind of to appease the tourists, I guess, is it, on non-guard change days?
Oh, it's part of Brand UK.
Brand UK, you see. And the King has instructed this, am I correct in saying
Absolutely.
that? Yeah, he is.
It comes directly from His Majesty.
Well, this is a great option for people because the changing of the guard gets exceptionally busy. So this will be a kind of a fun thing to do at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when people aren't around.
I don't like getting up too early when I'm on holiday.
Yeah, that's true.
The number of people outside Buckingham Palace at the moment
is very slim, so they have no idea.
What you see from dawn till dusk. There's
exactly.
no more.
Exactly.
So we really are ahead of the curve on this one. That looks very much like the Queen again.
That's the Queen again in the Jaguar. Yeah, she's on the way back again.
Audi.
Audi. Excuse me.
Politicians, Jaguars. So imagine not returning oddly to Clarence House. It'd be rare they'd bother closing the chain and closing the gates for such a short stop.
So it's a very short stop there. She might have popped out for a bottle of milk, maybe, sweetheart.
Well, possibly. I mean, that's it. Much as we venerate the royal family, they are but people. Captain's inspection. I can hear a band. I'm guessing there'll be a band. Are they going to hit Southgate?
Yes, they will be coming. Yeah, they will be.
That was what I anticipated. I thought you guys would know. Right, thank you very much.
So they're assembling, James. Are you there with me?
Yeah, we can see the band of the Welsh Guards formed up. You can tell the Welsh Guards from the format of their buttons, worn in groups of 5. Welsh Guards formed back in 1915, joining a much older division of Guards, going back to 1642. So buttons worn in groups 5, signalling the 5th Regiment in order of seniority. The plumes are the best in caps, white, green and white. And on the collar, if you can see, we have the leek, the emblem of Wales. Shakespeare had it, talking about young Henry V eating the leek upon St David's Day. It's the national feast day for St David on the 1st of March every year.
So this is going to be an inspection of the captain of the guard. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So it's captain's inspection. Oddly, captain's an appointment. The rank ordinarily of the captain of the King's Guard is that of major. So you'll see a single crown on each epaulette. You can see the band. It looks as if they're being inspected by the adjutant, which is an administrative position, normally held by a retired officer.
Okay, because he's out of uniform.
Yes, yeah, they do have a uniform, but it's more of an honorific. As you've seen the band come out at 10 minutes to the hour, 10 to 3. If you look behind them, you can see the coach used to bring them over from the Wellings Barracks, disrupting the traffic a little less.
So they don't have to pedestrianise the Mall, essentially, at this time of the day,
Well, that's it. Gone are the days of it being daily. That appears to be Mondays, Wednesdays and Sundays. But we're coming up with some new alternative parades.
So Sunday now has changed as well from the normal format, hasn't it? It's now what you call... Do we know?
What on the Sunday?
The Sunday, what's the ceremony that's going to be taking place?
Well, it's lodging the colour, but it's a rather antiquated phrase.
Okay.
So I think they're going to call it the Sunday Parade.
Okay.
However, it's called lodging the colour.
Very good.
Now that sounds like they're cheating, because the bugles actually sound slightly impure. So I suspect they've used a flugelhorn, which is like a bugle with vowels.
I honestly can't tell you the last time I was at the gates of the palace for any ceremony. I don't think I ever was.
Well, unless you're willing to get up stupidly early, it is rare to get that view. So from the Scarlet Plume on the bearskin cap, we can see that we have Welsh Guards, originally commanded by General Monk, but they fought on the wrong side in the English Civil War, so they lost their seniority. And General Monk led his army across the cold stream, very much their Rubicon. They laid down their arms here in London, picked them up again in service to the King after the restoration of the monarchy of King Charles II.
Okay.
Their motto translates as second to none, being the second most senior regiment.
Senior being?
Being the Grenadier
Guards, yeah.
Grenadier, Coldstream, Scots, Irish and Welsh. The Scots Guards are actually the oldest, but again, they lack in seniority, having been on the wrong side in the Civil War. Our wars, of course, are civil, we're English. Other nations are afraid to say it's more revolting, perhaps. The pouches on the back of the White Cross belts, they're used for storing bayonets. They're known as frogs. And that's our nickname for the French. Where do you put your bayonet? In a frog. Even today. This is what we say. We see the sentries, 4 sentries in total, indicating His Majesty the King is in London. We see him coming up to the position of slope arms. You can hear the ammunition boots crunch into the gravel.
Bit like your shoes, darling, when you wear them.
So the order there was an open order right dress. And so what they've done is they've opened up the ranks. If there were 3, the front rank would take 1 pace forward as well, 1 pace forward march. In this case, with simply 2 ranks, we see the rear rank take that 1 pace. We'll see the corporal there march back, and you'll hear that order clearly. When he's satisfied about their position, he stands still.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how precise you are, when you march, you do lose some dressing, as it's known, your position relative. And there'll be numbers. Number 2, forward. Okay, returns to his post. So imagine our two Lance Corporals we see with their chevrons nearest to us would have actually formed the escort to the colour when it came on to Buckingham Palace yesterday morning. Not necessarily, but that seems reasonable. The standard easy position these days is a little easier than it was in the past. As they get to couch the weapons, you can see that they can put both hands to the front to take the weight of it.
Oh yes, we've seen that in several parades, haven't we?
We do see a Sergeant Major coming on to parade from this distance. No, he is actually bandmaster. Now we see the captain. Instead of a white cross belt, has a crimson silk sash. The sword line, the welt down the seam of the trousers is broader. Bearskin cap taller, more tapered. Plume larger. You can see the buttons worn in pairs there for the Coldstream Guards. Returns the salute, simple salute to the rifle, unlike the royal salute we saw earlier. Returns to the hand salute. Do you remember these are real soldiers? They are very much inspected. It's not just to inspect their uniform these days. One of the most recent changes we've seen is we're looking to the soldiers in terms of their well-being.
So they're having an inspection here now as well.
But one of the conversations is always, how are you?
Oh,
we're
is
looking
it?
at career progression, we're looking at their well-being. That's a significant change. But as predicted, we do have the musical accompaniment to the captain's inspection. If he gets a little nearer, we'll have a view on whether he's captain of the King's Guard or is the officer commanding the Buckingham Palace detachment of the King's Guard. I'm afraid my eyesight wasn't, well, it's not quite what it was when I was a young man.
Indeed, I know all about
It's
that.
a few years ago, I'm afraid. But if you can see more clearly than us, if it has a single crown on each epaulette on each shoulder, from the Friendship Pool's shoulder, then he will be the captain of the King's Guard. Normally we see 3 stars, colloquially known as pips, then he'll be the officer commanding the Buckingham Palace detachment to the King's Guard. It's rather nice at this angle, you can almost see through the arch towards the actual front of the palace where the grand portiere is for official arrivals. This is not the front you're looking at, I'm afraid.
It's the back, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the back.
It is the back.
The East Wing, significantly newer. Certainly in its current format.
And the royal
In
family's
1930.
residence is the right-hand corner, isn't it?
It was, although the royal family no longer reside here.
Yeah,
Even
no,
the King
not
and Queen
presently.
don't. Just saw Majesty the Queen coming out from their actual London residence when they are here.
And technically, I think he's supposed to move in there in 2027, so I've heard, but I can't see
Sorry?
that happening. He's supposed to be moving into the palace in 2027, but I can't see that happening. It is under renovation, isn't it?
The renovations, we're really looking at the public rooms, the state departments. We're also looking at the back offices to support the staff who live and work here. And the plumbing hadn't been upgraded for well over 50 years. So we're looking at the longer term health of this building.
Well, of course, it's Georgian, isn't it?
The older section,
1702.
yes. Well, we're talking about
Well, that's the
John
house.
Sheffield's
John
Buckingham
Sheffield.
House.
That's right.
Then we had the
George
Georgian
Nash.
Palace of George III. So John Nash was the
John
King's
Nash,
favourite
rather.
architect. He was 72, the King's 64. Kept changing the plans, spending more and more money. When George IV died in 1830, Nash was sacked by Parliament. He said, top of my head, it was Edward Blore who was brought in. We continued building the palace through the 7-year reign of George IV's brother William IV. It's only when Queen Victoria moved here in 1837 it became a working royal residence rather than Buckingham House, which was a private retreat. But then the East Wing goes back to the reign of Queen Victoria in its current format, completely redesigned and refaced in this wonderful Portland stone you can see here, Jurassic era limestone. Do notice the captain has drawn his sword at this point. He appears to have handed the parade back now to the sergeant. The ranks can be slightly confusing to people. So the captain is actually forming something known as walking off. That's strictly known as walking off. So we'll get a good view of him as he approaches. We'll be able to check out his insignia of rank. So 3 stars, generally known as pips, indicating that he is in fact the commanding officer of the Buckingham Palace detachment of the Guard.
Do we know the significance of that walking off manoeuvre?
All officers do this when they're not immediately connected with the parade itself. And we see this here, we see it at St James's Palace. So it's walking off traditionally. It's also known as patrolling.
And here he comes again.
Absolutely, he'll continue backwards and forwards.
Is that anything to do with pacing? Isn't that another term?
This is the length
pacing
of
the minutes
pace,
or something?
so it's still 30-inch pace.
I like that little manoeuvre.
I apologise if I've misremembered that.
Oh my God, please.
Occasionally age takes its toll on me.
On us all.
Now, what I'm imagining now, if
Is
we
they're
look at the
having a
sentry
guard.
boxes, we're also using this for the actual changing over the sentries.
Yeah.
So we see the corpus guard, lance corporals by rank, and usually wearing 2 chevrons. When we see 3 white chevrons, indicates a full corporal, 3 gold sergeant. There's normally any form of 3 would be sergeant, but the guards, of course, like to do things a little bit differently.
So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, essentially.
Almost,
They're all
yes.
done in one.
So we do see the corporal, he'll be reading out the orders, not allowed to sit, sleep, drink, eat, smoke, sweat, or bayonet tourists unless they absolutely have to. We try and avoid this.
Or people with gimbals and phones inside the gates.
It depends how they behave, I think. It's always rather fun to hear the panoply of music the band plays. They don't restrict themselves just to military music. I've heard Star Wars, Game of Thrones.
Yes, Imperial Death March, Thriller.
Something like some young lady, what's her name? Taylor Swift. I'm
Yes,
told.
yeah.
I'm not really familiar with her.
And they
Musical outfit,
played
I've
Aretha Franklin respect
Oh, well,
when
no,
she
no.
died as well.
If it's from before 1979, I might know it, but afterwards, I'm less sure.
This guy's having the time of his life.
So, 1 century changed. We're repeating this on either side of the forecourt. The 2 lance corporals. So we're doing this simultaneously. So then each will have a pair of old sentries.
This is a lovely alternative to the guard change, isn't it? It's quite nice.
Less crowded. It's rather fun. The
Well,
problem is, of course, that
when word gets out,
it's going to be difficult to get the view we've got.
Yeah,
it's going to be
very
very
true.
difficult.
we came at
Unless
the
you'll
right
hear
time.
some- yeah, absolutely. Well, we always do. It's our commitment. We're
Isn't it?
always early.
Bravo!
So perfectly timed as well, as at this point we're taking our old sentries back off. They're reforming with the guard. We will have 2 more sentries and the other lance corporal to return. Here they come now. So to an extent, I rather imagine this might be almost a conclusion what we are seeing today.
So it's going to be a brief 20-minute ceremony, you expect?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's nice though. It's really lovely. Certainly nice for people that it's unexpected. People that just happen
Well,
to
that
be
is
here.
a bit of a privilege, isn't it?
Well, especially to get this close, because I don't imagine this vantage spot is going to be this easy to access in the summer months.
Nigh on impossible might be the way to look at that. I'm rather curious though. I am thinking that the band will return to the Wellington Barracks with a vehicle rather than march back today.
So that's what's curious. That's what's making me really curious. What's happening at Wellington Barracks right now?
Well, quite often what we hear is we hear rehearsals of other regiments.
Okay.
So before they post to public duties, there is a review to check their fitness for it. I don't mean physical fitness, I mean that the foot drill is exemplary.
Well, of course, it's going to be a busy summer, isn't it? We'll have May for the VE Day, and we'll have the troop then. And there is a state visit coming up, I think, of the French
We
Premier.
have a range of state visits. We do, of course, have the Major General's review, the Colonel's review,
Of course, they're all arriving,
the
yes,
King's
of course.
Birthday Parade.
And the VE Day military parade.
Absolutely.
God, that's busy. Yeah, it's a busy summer for them. All of them will be taking place in May, and June will be there, guys. James will be attending 1 or 2 of them with me.
So the captain certainly
coming
looks
our
like he's
way.
going to march off himself. We literally have the best view of this.
All right! Quick! March!
I anticipate the right wheel. No, simply going to follow. That's covered. Okay. You can now see the Star of the Order of the Garter on the collars of the guardsmen and non-commissioned officers. All disorder of chivalry in the country.
I was slightly terrified there. I thought he was going to roar at me if having my camera inside the gates. So we should get maybe they'll play the anthem here.
They look to be forming
For a song, yeah.
are they? Hang on.
Oh,
Let's have a
okay.
look at this.
This is interesting.
It's these drill manoeuvres, some which do not actually exist in the drill manual, which are defined simply for the band for occasions such as this. Incredibly difficult. And I can't play an instrument, let alone play an instrument and march.
It's the mounted cavalry that really are a cavalry band during the parades are incredible.
Well, it's the drummers I particularly enjoy.
They love them on the trumpet guy.
Well, you use those incredible bass drums, kettle drums, and the timpanis. And of course, they're using both hands. They use foot stirrups to control the horses.
I mean, that is just special. God, and a landslide.
Well,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
As I said, before 1979, first time round at least.
Oh, amazing. If we can hear it now, that's the only thing. Oh, fabulous. I've never heard them do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, it ties in. The king's wife is still the queen.
Tell me.
That sort of song we feel you've got your money's worth. It's not short.
It's very true. so tempted to sing.
Safe X, if you are watching, please donate generously to Sinead to not sing. That seems fair.
I happen to be a very good singer, you know.
I'm terrible. People would actually pay me not to.
Well, your eloquence makes up for it, darling, in your
On a good
diction.
day.
Fabulous.
Well, that is a value for
That
money
was
song, isn't it?
fabulous.
I don't quite agree with this applauding business, eh? The band's men and
can't-
women, they're real
You
soldiers.
can't blame them. Look at
Well,
this after getting 10 deep now.
I'm sorry, soldiers do not enjoy the clap.
You don't think? So we're gonna make a sneaky maneuver. Do you think, James, or will
I
it
think
take
we
it?
should, because I think what we're actually hearing
Are we
in the
gonna get another
background is a fitness for role review. I strongly suspect they are.
Okay, so we're going to make a move because we want to be somewhere specific in just a second. There, but that will give you some sort of an idea. Well, we've just got an idea as well, James, haven't we? Of what's going to take place now, right behind you. What's going to take place now
Yeah.
on non-guard change days. Now, when I say that, I want to specify this ceremony is going to take place only on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
That's correct.
At
yes.
3 p.m. in the forecourt, right?
Yes.
And then Sundays, we're film on Sunday as well, will we, James?
Yes,
So maybe
I
we'll
think
make
so.
two
I think it's a
videos
very
out of
good
it.
idea.
I think that we should just definitely put up changing of the guard video, non-guard change days, and then Sunday. But people were completely flummoxed today. They had no idea this was about to happen.
Well, when you look at the crowd ambling in front of the forecourt now, that is a small crowd. That
Oh,
is
God,
quiet.
compared to the changing of the guard, absolutely. But I never recommend anybody goes to the gates of the palace for changing of the guard anyway, James.
Personally, I don't. I have my little spot. You
So
have
do
your
I.
spot.
I have mine, yeah.
We have our ways of doing things. Give you all the best views, the best video, the best photographs, the best experience.
Well, this is it. And literally, you can check out, we will post the actual changing of the guard tour that is on our YouTube channel, folks, where 99% of people do it wrong. And the link will be in the description for that as well. So this is specifically for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And we're just going to wait and see how long it actually takes place for. Hey folks, so James has returned there, and that concludes our video for today. So a whole new ceremony at the palace every Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We will be filming Sundays as well, and the entire ceremony, from what we can see, will take about 35 to 40 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. On Sunday, we'll do it all over again. Sinead signing out here at Buckingham Palace.